Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today I'm very excited to bring to you from the Transformers Cyberverse line, the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures subline. This is Ultra Class Rack and Ruin. How's that for a mouthful? I hope you're all doing well, or as well as you can be, washing your hands, staying safe, and, well, if you're home with your family, not driving each other nuts. God knows I can understand that. And I'm just here trying to bring you a video and bring you a little entertainment in your day. If you do like this video, I would appreciate so much hitting that subscribe button and maybe turning on notifications. That little bit does go and help. With all that's going on in the world, YouTube is still being funny with creators, and we can use all the help we can. So we're starting off with Ultra Class Rack and Ruin in his its vehicle mode. And I just noticed there's a little mistake right here. I have something not pegged. Oh, I know it's pegged in. I thought it wasn't pegged in, but this is a nice little armored car, and I think it's rather cool. Now, I gotta be very honest with you. I'm not that familiar with the history of the character Rack and Ruin. I know it was created first in the UK Transformers comics way back in the 1980s, eventually brought over to the US comics. It was part of the Wreckers subgroup, which has gained some infamy and notoriety amongst Transformers fans, but most recently, its biggest claim to fame is being featured in the Cyberverse cartoon. It is a double-headed robot. I know they used to be two separate robots, but they were merged together somehow. You know what? I'm sure right as I speak, there is somebody in the comments somewhat angrily typing out the lineage of Rack and Ruin, and to them I say thank you very much for helping us out. Let's just get right into the transformation. The car rolls. Unfortunately, the barrels here don't move and not removable. This part forms the arms, and I thought maybe they could flip around for weapons. But he does have a handheld weapon, and look at that. You've got heads between your legs. No idea which one's Rack, which one's Ruin, but I'm sure somebody does. But anyway, to start the transformation, you want to come in, and you're going to gently slide. Detach the arm from there, and then you're going to detach it from here and rotate it down underneath like so that it's folded up completely. There are some double hinges down there. That's part of the overall transformation, and this will just help getting them out of the way. I do want to mention real quick in terms of tactile feel, some of the plastic does feel thin, but I don't feel it's going to break. Also, some of the joints are surprisingly loose, and that's kind of interesting since this is very articulated for an Ultra Class figure. To continue the transformation, we're going to go ahead and you're going to pull what was the rear of the vehicle, and now they're going to be the robot legs out, and then turn around and flip this whole chest section up, and you want to click it into place. Make sure this little front bumper section clicks under a tab right here. This is on a spring, so it will help in getting it in place. Next, what you want to do is fold up this whole section here. This is the waist section. That will very solidly click into place. And then rotating on the knee joint, you want to go and, well, you know what? You could just do this. Bring the whole leg section down and around like so. Allowing it to rotate around just like that, so you have the figure able to stand up. I just did about 2 or 3 steps in one shot, so and as you can see, yes, the knees are a little loose. That is leaning back, but we're going to fix that because now we're going to bring the arms around, and these are on a series of double hinges that you want to bring out, and just you want to make sure it does snap into place to hold everything just like that. You want to try pushing back on this hinge right here to help snap it into place, and there you go. Bend the elbows. Here you have your Rack and Ruin in robot mode. You have ball jointed hips, a 90-degree bend at the knee, a mushroom cap swivel below the knee. That is for transformation. You do have a little bit of rotation there at the ball joint in the hip. Unfortunately, the hip and the knee are the loosest joints here. You have a ball joint here in the shoulder, so you do have some movement, but you do have that wheel that gets in the way. And you just have a 90-degree bend at the elbow with a little bit of swivel. A lot of that has to do to help getting it into vehicle mode. And one thing I do want to mention about going back into vehicle mode is you always want to make sure with these double hinges in the front of the car that they do snap into place, because the other tabs won't line up properly. Now, much like some of the other Ultra Class figures that have been released under the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures line, Rack and Ruin has a little bit of a spark armor gimmick. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this whole section off, and that should trigger the plunger, which will bring his armor out and about, and there we go. Okay, and we'll come in with a look. It's a nice little clear blue little shield piece there, and covers everything up quite nicely. Now to reset, what you want to do is you're going to, well, first what you want to do, well, 6 of one, half another. Open up this back section, flip up this shield, fold up that lower piece, and then fold it all into the back. That will close up there. Now you can, of course, peg this weapon in the hand here. Either hand will do. And he's got a nice little handheld blaster. That looks like a real nice blaster there. Big and thick. And the way to reset the gimmick properly all the way is there are 2 tabs there on the gun, which will fit into slots in the back. And you want to make sure that tab, this fender piece, goes over the gray tab there and plugs it in so that everything is depressed. And when you pull it off, you want to go and pull so that you definitely pull back on that tab to help spring everything forward. So that's just a nice little gimmick there, and I like how with some of these figures that, let's be honest, this might be the only version of Rack and Ruin we get, they have made the effort to put in extra articulation. So, with all that said and done, we will pause, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Alright, well, I kind of dig Rack and Ruin. I think it's a fun robot. The transformation is interesting, and you end up with a very solid armor card mode, which sometimes that's all you really need. I really appreciate a transformation where everything comes together, tabs and pegs in solidly, and you end up with a very solid vehicle mode. I really think the weapon is kind of interesting, and the gimmick, I mean, I have to say, really isn't that intrusive, so, which is an exception to the rule of the Cyberverse line. With that said, for those of you who are fans of Off the Shelf, and there should be a new episode coming soon, right now I'm not going to be able to display Rack and Ruin for as long as I would like, just because I have other figures coming in, and they're going to take precedence over, you know, a character that really I have no deep connection to. That's not to say, as I started off, it's a fun figure and worth the purchase. Speaking of which, I got this off of Amazon.com. It is in stock now, and surprisingly, they are shipping it out now. And, you know, I just want to throw it out there. Yes, Amazon has said that they are going to give priority to household and medical essentials, but if you look, there are other non-essential products that are shipping out during the normal Prime shipping period, and Rack and Ruin is one of those. So if you kind of are a little bored, a little stir crazy, maybe want to get the kids a little gift or something, Rack and Ruin is there for you. This is your old pal Chuck for Rack and Ruin. Stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you next time.